Hello again, friends, and welcome in to another edition of Wrestling with Rusty right here on YouTube and Facebook. And I come to you today with another edition of Pro Wrestling Update with Ted Dibiase, the Million Dollar Man, and pro wrestler Ted Dibiase to repay millions to Mississippi. This story came out yesterday. Ted DiBiase and his family must repay a total of about $4.8 million to the state of Mississippi for years of stolen and misappropriated funds to the state of Mississippi, resulting from the DiBiase's family religious money. Religious organization in which they got money from and distributed money to and from the poor. They owe $4.8 million, with Ted DiBiase, the Million Dollar Man, owing about $700,000 plus of that money himself. That explains why Ted DiBiase is working again in the WWE. Vince McMahon and those guys gave him a job in order to help repay that money. Him and his family must repay that money to the state of Mississippi for illegally taking the money from the Heart of David Ministries, a ministry organization in which Ted DiBiase and family raised money for projects that were to help the poor. But just like Jim Baker of the PTL Club many years ago and other ministries who have stolen money before, Ted DiBiase and family are in a world of trouble. As long as they repay the money back, nobody will go to jail probably. But that's not the point. The point is you've got to be a sorry human being to use religion to steal money, number one. But number two, to use religion to steal money from the poor. That's pretty sorry. Yes, we hear about it all the time in the private sector and business world. But when you use religion as a con to steal from the poor, I believe that's even worse because you're using God's name and religion in what people are supposed to believe to be good people in the world to con other people out of money. So in some respects, that's even worse than a regular con job, I suppose, if that makes sense. Repeating, Ted DiBiase and family to repay approximately $4.8 million to the state of Mississippi for misappropriating of funds to the Heart of David Ministries, a ministry that they started some years ago upon Ted's retirement from professional wrestling. Now he's back working in professional wrestling in an attempt to repay that money back. Recently, Ted DiBiase sold a home in Mississippi, or is in the process of selling a home in Mississippi worth millions to help pay some of that money back. But even with the sale of that home, if it goes through, if it has not already gone through, he will still owe millions. Ted DiBiase owes about $700,000 himself, with the remaining balance to be paid by his sons, Brett DiBiase, and his son, former professional wrestler Ted DiBiase Jr. So this is a sad day for the DiBiase family, a blow to professional wrestling, as most people think that because there's a lot of dirty business being done, past and present, for years in the world of professional wrestling, that many times religion is used as a second career to get your name out there in the community of the real world, to use your wrestling name and credibility to con people in the religious world, much like a TV evangelist does, past and present. So not only is this a bad or black eye for professional wrestling, this is also a black eye for religion and a black eye for TV evangelists of any kind, once again. So the investigation had gone on for years and years. I first heard about this probably 2 to 3 years ago. But these kind of audits regarding money and misappropriating of funds always take a long time, because when the state or the federal government do these kind of audits, they go way back. And basically, as the old saying goes, try to dot their T's and cross their I's. Well, the state of Mississippi dotted their T's and crossed their I's in regards to the $1 Million Man, Ted Dibiase Jr., and another son, Brett Dibiase. More details as this becomes available. Many people don't see the Dibiase family doing any jail time. Usually you only do jail time when you don't pay the money back. But in this case, I suspect that WWE and owner Vince McMahon will be loaning, or if not helping, the Dibiase family repay some or all of this money, as evident by the job that they've given Ted Dibiase to be back in NXT and the WWE, or other types of funding as well, much like they've helped Ric Flair pay many fines and tax liens over the years and things of that nature. As Ric Flair at one point was, excuse me while I wipe my eye, Ric Flair at one point owed a lot of back taxes and things to the IRS. As Jim Ross would say, Uncle Sam may be a Nature Boy fan, but he expects Ric Flair to pay his taxes. So Ric Flair got into some tax trouble many years ago, and Vince McMahon loaned Ric Flair money to get out of that. So I don't know if Ted DiBiase will be taking loans from the WWE, but he certainly has a high-paying job in the WWE now. So expect nothing to come of this except bad publicity for all of the DiBiase family, as well as having to pay the money back. So it's a shame. It's bad for everybody concerned. The DiBiase family, the people that were taken advantage of by the Heart of David Ministries, the religious community in general, and anybody trying to raise funds in the future to help the poor. Anytime something like this comes to light, it's always negative toward many people for years to come, even some of those that had nothing to do with the Heart of David Ministries or the DiBiase family. So we'll have to wait and see how all of this shakes out. I'd like to do my suicide prevention promo now. If you or someone you know is thinking about committing suicide, or has trouble with depression, or is a veteran in need of help now or future, please quickly have them call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. They're open every day, 365 days a year. 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK. Get help from there or somewhere else from someone that you trust. The sooner you get help, the better off your chances for success are. It's not our job to decide when we leave this world. It's God's job to decide when we leave this world. And so try to get help as soon as possible. So thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on another edition of Wrestling with Rusty, right here on YouTube and Facebook. And hopefully we will not be talking about scams and deceptions and people paying money back to the state of Mississippi, like the Dibiase family and the $1 Million Man, Ted Dibiase. And once again, with Ted Dibiase, Jake Roberts, Buddy Landale in the past. Of course, Buddy Landale is dead now. And many others from pro wrestling who go into religion. This is a black eye for pro wrestling, a black eye for religion in general, a black eye for raising money to help the poor. So this is a black eye on many levels, not just professional wrestling, as the Dibiase family should have thought about all that before they stole this money. And I'm not going to say allegedly. They have stolen this money, and they should have to repay it, but they also should receive some other type of penalty. I doubt that will happen, but they should. And maybe Ted DiBiase will come out and make a public statement and repent of his sins. But you never know. Pro wrestling is a carny business. It's a business of, most of the time, people with low character, even though I've met a lot of nice people in pro wrestling. But it's more bad people than there is good people. And it looks like Ted DiBiase and his family have succumbed to corruption, and money and greed and power have taken over the DiBiase family. So we'll have to see how all this shakes out. Keep it right here for another edition next time of Wrestling with Rusty, right here on YouTube and Facebook. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time on this channel for pro wrestling or any kind of lifestyle videos. As always, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe to the other videos on this channel. Tell your friends about the channel. Tell your friends about other videos on this channel, as it's not just pro wrestling. It's also lifestyle videos about my life, girlfriends, my past, all kind of different stuff. So, and I don't have a girlfriend now, for anybody out there that is interested, but I'm just saying there's a lot about my past girlfriends and other types of problems on this channel, not just professional wrestling. But we do our best to bring you the greatest news in professional wrestling as it becomes available right here on this channel, on YouTube and Facebook, with another edition of Wrestling with Rusty for October 15th, 2021. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you again. God bless. Thank you very much for watching. Come back next time for another edition of Wrestling with Rusty right here on YouTube and Facebook. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.